So I'm incompetent because the police who robbed me say that I'm incompetent because they would never rob me, right? All right, so we're going to have this incompetent person explain the law. All right, so there's the Supreme Court, there are the appeals, the federal appeals courts, and there's the state Supreme Court, and then there are the district courts. Um, so I'm in a judicial district in El Paso County under their jurisdiction, but there's like a hierarchy where if I have to appeal this situation somehow and say, look, I didn't have a right to a speedy trial, and also these people are all lying together trying to kill me at the same time, which is not a judicial issue, no matter what Ed Perlmutter thinks, which I don't think it's him. I think someone else wrote it for him. It's not. It's a me getting. I think that I have security. That's my guess. All right, so there are all these different courts, and you have to appeal your way up. And so this lawyer for Jessop, was apparently multiple businessmen, at least two of them, and they got robbed by the police. And the police said, well, he became a criminal informant. We were allowed to rob him. No, they never admitted it. I'm sure they're cops. So after they robbed these people of $225,000, the city of Fresno says that they have qualified immunity, that you can't sue them because they're police officers who robbed you. So you can't get your money back because they're cops. And this wasn't even a criminal situation. And I think that what happened is Jessop realized that the police were dirty in Fresno. If you guys didn't know, I'm pretty much from Fresno. I'm from right down the street in Bakersfield. That's where I grew up. And someone decided that the city of Fresno was dirty and they needed to sue because the city of Fresno wouldn't deal with it from a criminal perspective. But I'm not sure if the police could, like, I think that they can get charged criminal, like that is a big felony for stealing that much money. $2,500 or what was it, 20, I can't remember, I already forgot. 2250, I can't remember, or 225,000, sorry. My numbers, I'm not very good at numbers. I'm good at numbers, I'm just not very good at taking a test with numbers fast. I actually, like, you can sit there with an equation and like explain it to me, and I'd have no problem dealing with like complex, like linear algebra equations. Anyways, so I mean, I would have a problem. I'd have to figure it out, but I'd have to take some time to really figure out the variables. But I'm just saying I know it. Anyway, so what I'm trying to talk about is the appeal situation. So Jessop's lawyer tries to sue them, can't sue them, has to go to the highest court in, I guess, California. And the highest court in California, which would be the Supreme Court, I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure it's actually a federal judge who decides on this. So he had to go to a federal appeals court because there are the appeals courts. Yeah, sorry, I'm wrong. I'm not a lawyer. This is me being incompetent while trying to figure out what happened with the Jessop case without actually knowing everything that goes on because I'm not a real lawyer. So, okay, so they go to the appeals court and they say, police aren't allowed to steal from me. I'm allowed to sue to get my money back. And the appeals court says, unanimously, we have all agreed that police officers cannot be held liable for anything, even if they like very clearly robbed you. So then Jessop said, okay, I need to go to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, we are refusing to hear your case. We are going to stand with the original ruling, basically. But it's not the same because if the Supreme Court had actually ruled, it would have more authority. But by choosing not to accept this case, they are choosing to accept that police are allowed to rob people and not be held liable for robbing people like everyone else. As long as they're robbing someone they don't like because they're searching them. As long as they have a search warrant, they're allowed to rob them. I'm pretty sure that the police could have probably actually got in trouble legally, like for stealing, but then Fresno decided that that there wasn't enough evidence, and so the police were allowed to steal as long as. But it's hard to get evidence on a cop who's robbing people. That's the thing about cops. Like, you would think the laws would be like more binding for police, like to make sure police stay in line in certain ways. Like you can't rob people. Like it's burglary then if you're in their house and you steal from them. It sure feels like burglary when my shit goes missing like that. But like you would think the laws would be more serious for them because they should be, especially involving stealing, but they're not, and that's why police steal so often. That's my theory about it. Because like really, like I mean, I feel like it might be pretty common for a police officer to at least stolen a little bit at some point. I didn't steal that much. I just stole his magazines. I just stole the bobblehead thing. Oh, I just stole his pen. Turns out it's like a $75 pen. And I know the general population goes, you only had $50 worth of stuff stolen from you. And what I'll tell you is, for some of us, that's $50 that we're not going to replace. Because at the time we spent that money, and we can't spend that money again. So when things get stolen, that stuff's gone.